Good morning, everybody. Today is going to be a good day because we're going to talk about a very important car in the car enthusiast world, the BMW G20 330i. And we're going to do a calculation on what income would be appropriate for you to actually get this car. Now, before I start, big disclaimer, I'm not a professional financial advisor. If you need professional advice, please seek those who are certified. This is just the way I will calculate if I were to pursue this car or to get confirmation that this car is something that I'm ready to just dive right into, right? The other thing I want to put out as well is, look, I get a lot of comments as well. By the way, we're doing this third video because we're getting so much feedback from you guys, and it's been pretty positive that that some of you guys really appreciate this video. So this gives us the fuel to keep doing this, right? Myself and my team. So thank you so much for your feedback, your comments, and your participation, right? We look forward to do more videos like this. Now, another thing, some of you guys in the comments there, they're saying, why spend so much money on car, the depreciating asset? Look, if that's who you are, there's nothing wrong with that. For some people, car is merely an appliance, like you just get from point A to point B. There's nothing wrong with that. But this video are reserved for car lovers, people who want to enjoy more cars, all right? So if that's you, then you're on the right channel, all right? With that, let's jump right in because, I want to make these videos to support my car community to pursue their dreams, okay? BMW 330i G20. Now, let's talk about why this car is very significant in the car lovers world. Because this is an entry-level premium car, which, is something that most people can dare to start dreaming about. I also have one of the first things I thought about as I was earning a little bit more money is like, I should start entering into this segment. And unlike the C-Class, the BMW always promises a little bit more fun, right? Because it's a BMW, right? It comes from that roots of being fun. Rear-wheel drive, you got pretty decent power, a pretty solid gearbox, right? All that comes into the package of BMW. So that makes a very, attractive package as a car enthusiast. So who should really be looking for this? I think someone who's really owned a car, right? They own maybe a Myvi, or maybe they own a Honda City, a Honda Civic, and they're just starting to progress on their career, or they're looking to push their income up. I think the 3 Series is a good spot to really start entering the world. And if it's your only one car, I think it's not bad. You can do the highway miles, they're pretty efficient. You can do the daily groceries, daily meetings. It looks good if you're going to meet people. And also, it's fun, right? All of that in one. Okay, let's start doing our little calculation. Now, there are 2 ways to look at this. Some people say buy new, some people say buy used. I'm not going to be debating about which one is better. I'm going to say rather it's a choice. If you ask me personally, I like to buy used because the first few years of depreciation usually is a little bit harsh. Okay, so why tank that depreciation when you can buy a car that's already depreciated? Sure, there's something that you got to deal with, that the car maybe has some issues, maybe they got a little bit damaged and stuff over there. But I think for all the savings you get, which is approximately you will see around like 80,000 ringgit, I think it's pretty much worth the money. Okay, so the new G20, the facelifted one, as of today, July 2023, it's roughly around 320,000 ringgit. It's pretty steep, especially the one with the M Sport suspension. You want to be going for that. And I'm not going to pick that because number one, it's new. Number two, I don't quite like the design. I think it looks sleek, but it just looks a bit Audi-ish to me. And I think, the older pre-facelift looks a bit nicer. And I like the screens just being separate. So I'm going to base the calculation off what I would pick, which is the pre-facelift G20. Okay. Now let's look at the market. We have a few in the market, and I can look at Muda, I can look at Carlist, but I'm looking for something of a 2021, 2020, right? And their price range anywhere between 210 to 250. All right, there's a set of them in the market. Okay, so I'm going to say we pick somewhere around the middle, say 230 ringgit, right? 230,000 ringgit for a used G20. Okay, I think it's not bad. Down payment. Now, this is again 10% being a rule of thumb. Also depends on your personal finance capacity and stuff like that. But banks are willing to loan up to 90% on a $4 car and a car there's so many of them in the market. So for the bank itself, it's rather a low risk, right? So you probably get a 10% down payment pretty easy if your income suffices. So which means you're gonna need 23,000 ringgit up front. And again, for those who already own a car, you can convert or trade in your car, sell your car, and put it into here, right? So there's a upgrade without putting up too much cash, okay? Registration fees, okay, if you're gonna buy from the used market, there's gonna be some, puspakong, etc. And also, I'm going to put up like 500 bucks, right? And administration fees, sometimes you buy from used car dealers, there is some sort of fees. Even I think the premium selection official dealers, they do also charge you something. So I'm going to just max it out, be conservative. I'm going to put higher, could be lower. Road tax, because it's 2 litre, I believe it's 380 ringgit. Okay. Insurance. Okay. Now insurance, I like to go to this website called oto.my. Take note that it's not 100% accurate, but it gives you a gauge on how much you have to pay for insurance, right? Let's say the insured amount will be the market price of 230,000, and I'm going to put the engine capacity, no claims discount. Okay, it could be up to 5 years, but let's assume you only had 3 years no claim discount, which means 3,880, okay? But I'm going to put it up a little bit more, because something people always forget about insurance is not buying windscreen insurance, and the most important one is the flood or natural disaster coverage, right? Look, we live in a tropical country. The odds are you will be meeting floods, okay? And in that rare occasion that you got your car into a flood situation, you'll be wishing you paid that little bit more. So please, my friends, look at that clause, pay that little bit more for peace of mind. That's what insurance is for, okay? Again, this is my plea to my car owner friends. And I recall one time I got into a flood situation. It cost me 60,000 ringgit to replace my engine for the M235i. Lesson learned over there. And the other one on top of it could be a betterment clause as well, right? Just take a look at that. But anyways, 3,008 is the insurance without windscreen, etc. So I'm going to top up additional 1,000. So let's say it's 4,800 ringgit for all those things I mentioned, right? So let's add this all up together. At cash up front, you probably need 30,680, thereabouts. Okay, remember this is not about being accurate, so we're giving you a gauge. So for those people who already own a car, when you trade in your car, you might be seeing something like this, or you have to top up a little bit more, so it makes your entry into the G20 330i much more easier. Okay, now you may want to add also additional 3,000 to 5,000 ringgit, just in case there are some things that you want to change, i.e. tires, maybe brake pads, or maybe small little fixes here and there. So I'll typically budget a little bit more, but let's say bare minimum 31,000, 35,000 thereabouts. Okay, monthly installment. Let's do this, right? So for car loans, I like to go to this website called calculator.com.my and /car-loan, or you can just go ahead and click that, right? So I'm going to key in my car price. I'm going to put my down payment amount, and I personally don't like to stretch it to 9 years. I like to keep it a loan period of 7 years, okay? So let's say if I do a 7-year loan, second hand, you're going to get a higher interest rate, which is around 3 to 3.5 or 3.8. Let's just say 3.5 for easy calculation. So 7 years, okay, and 3.5%. Okay, now the monthly installment will look something around 3,068 ringgit 40 cent, right? Just make it 3068, make it easy, okay? So on a yearly basis, let's multiply this by 12, okay? Multiply by 12. 3068 multiplied by 12. That makes it your total repayment per year with interest and principal is 36,812. Okay, so maintenance. This is what we're talking about, what we had to pay on a yearly basis. Okay, let's do a little dot because all this is in a year. Maintenance. Now, I am not an expert around G20 maintenance, but I've owned a couple of BMWs before. I can see that BMWs are not that scary to own nowadays. Parts are everywhere, especially a part like this, it's a common known car. And more people using this model will decrease the price of the parts coming in as well because they order in bulk and they're everywhere, right? So if you need to have maintenance, it wouldn't be that high. Plus, if you're getting a 2021 or 2020, you're still under the warranty coverage. So if anything major goes wrong, you don't have to fork out the big bill. But I think it's just safe to put aside on a yearly basis anywhere between 5 to 8,000 ringgit. Could be tires, brake pads, as I just say. Some of these things may cost a little bit more money. It could be something like a suspension, your dampers require fixing or changing. But then again, you got warranty, right? But it's just good to have that additional aside in case of anything that is not covered by warranty. So 5,000 the minimum, maybe 8,000 ringgit, all right? Okay, it's very important to have this budget, by the way, because some people don't budget for this. And when it shows up, it really disrupts their life. So what people end up doing is that they skim on some of the parts they're going to buy, whether it's a cheaper tire or cheaper brakes. But all these things are very important because it's your car, number one, and it's your safety, right? So make sure that you have this calculated so when it shows up, you're not surprised and you're ready for it, okay? Road tax, okay, as we mentioned, 380 ringgit. Okay, if you're doing individual, non-company insurance, let's just say on the average basis per year, you pay 4,000 ringgit because your NCD increases. Okay, let's top it all up together. Okay, so this one plus 5,000 plus 380 plus 4,000 ringgit insurance. That brings it all up to 46,196 ringgit per year. And on the monthly basis, so this is a yearly basis, on a monthly basis, divide by 12, it looks somewhere around the line of per month, right? Monthly expense, okay? 3,850 per month. Okay, not too far off, but I think this is a reasonable amount. Now, I heard some of you say in the previous videos, comments, oh, I just picked the car price. If my annual income is this, then I can afford the car. Now, yeah, that kind of comes out to be quite true in the end, but the reason why we do this, so we build awareness on how this impacts our lifestyle, okay? So now that you know that every month that you earn this, it has to go to your car. Prepare to spend this on your car, you know, and just put it aside, okay? 3,850 a month. So what sort of income would be comfortable for you to pursue this car, right? Again, I like to go into a range of number, depends on, all right, on your comfort level. So this is the monthly expense, and on the more aggressive side, I would say you can spend up to 30%, or I would spend up to 30% of my income on the car. Now, this would only apply if, let's say, you don't have much dependence around you, and you know you're just taking care of yourself. So if you spend 70% up front, I think it's not so bad. Some people say, you know what, I'm single, I can go 50%. Well, that's true, you can actually go 50% of your income, but the reason why I don't encourage that is because now you don't have any more money for any emergencies, or more importantly than emergencies, you don't have any more capacity to put money aside to invest. Because while we car lovers need to enjoy what we can afford right now, putting aside a little bit money will help you enjoy more cars in the future as well. So I like to see it in also having fun in the future. So if you put up 30%, I think you can at least still put 10 to 20% away per month to invest, right? So 30%, and I would say 20%, right, of your income, you can spend it on your car. So let's figure out how much income you make per year to be, for this to be 30% or for this to be 20%, right? So let's see, 3,850 divide by 2, multiply by 10, right? So this would be, if you're earning 19,250 and above, or a range of 3,980. 50, it's 35 baht. Okay. So if you're earning this, you could afford this comfortably without having a huge impact in your capacity to have money on other areas of your life. You know, again, this is something when you don't have high commitment, this one on a more safer level, right? And again, I want to reiterate, look, you can actually don't buy even though you earn this money, you don't have to buy the 330i, right? if you feel that you don't need anything else but a transport, I encourage you to just keep whatever you're driving, right? But if what you want to experience is a car like this, then that's the cost for it. And this is my framework of making sure that I'm on track with my expenses, okay? So, I got a lot of message coming from Instagram saying sharing how much money you're earning and whether can I get this car. And so now that you have this number, how do we use this number? Because this is the most important part, is number one, to see what's the gap between what you're currently earning and where you have to go, and that becomes the basis of your goal setting, right? You have to set goals. So if you can't afford this car yet, then you strive for it, okay? So let's say if you're earning right now a 5,000 ringgit a month, you gotta have a strategy to increase to a minimum of say 12,850. So the gap is 7,850. Now with regards to goal setting, and now that you see this number, don't get discouraged. The more important question is not to look how far am I, but to ask these two very powerful questions. Now I know this is deviating from the usual car budgeting thing, but I want to inspire you to actually go ahead and pursue your dreams, right? And cars are great sources of inspiration, right, and motivation. Two questions to ask yourself. Number one, what opportunities do I have that can create for me the money, the income to close this gap? Now, if you don't have number one, then the second question you need to ask yourself is how much time do I spend looking for these opportunities on a consistent basis, on a weekly basis? Are you looking out for them, right? It's okay that you have that gap, but it's more important that you actually put yourself in a position to make those opportunities available. Because here's the truth, there's so many ways to earn money out there. It's out there. It's whether or not you're looking for them, right? And when you come present to these two questions and you keep asking yourself these two questions, those opportunities will become more and more available to you. You start studying more opportunities and you start picking the right one. And sometimes you may fail, but hey, who's ever successful in the first time doing something, right? When you first drove your car, you thought you were confident, you start sliding, right? And then you learn something, right? So yes, it's all about that. It's all about making sure you go out there looking for opportunities. For some of you, if you're looking for investment options, there are many out there, but if you're looking for a business aspect, like how do I do something part-time that it grows and grows so that it increases my income? Well, I've been doing my business for 9 years. Now, some of you may or may not be looking into it, but if you're open to it, right? I would love to have a chat with you to show you how I got myself up to where I am right now and how it's going to map the path for me in the next 10, 20 years to come. I'm open to share that with you. Send me a message in my Instagram DM, Thomas Yap Official, right? We'll chat more over there. But with that, thank you so much for watching. I hope this gives you a framework for you to start thinking, deciding, or maybe it motivates you, inspires you to start dreaming. And for those of you who already have the income and you want to get this car, hope this gives you the confidence to do so. So that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you do, please help me give me a like button and subscribe to my channel and share it to a friend that perhaps is looking for this car or send it to just light the fire up their ass, right? So they get motivated. And also let me know in the comments below what other cars that you'd like me to comment around the video format like this, right? And also let me know what other topics perhaps that you want me to share and talk about regarding to car ownership and pursuing your dream, right? With that, love you guys. Keep it 100% and peace out.